Brother Shaolin Fantastic. Dark 30 in the morning to dark 30 at night. Y'all know how I do it. Taking my behind on into the JOB. Getting it in today. And just sitting around, chilling, working, being a little social. Been going out a little bit lately, just hanging out. And I tell you, I like watching the NBA, and some of the times I watch different games. I don't really have an NBA team. The Mavs are okay. I think they building for the future and things like that. But pretty much I've been just chilling, going out of town. I've been back and forth to Houston and things like that. I like going down to Houston. But today, on my way to work, I was thinking about something last night. And what I like, what I like doing, and it's just me personally. It's just me personally. Everybody doesn't have to do it, but I do believe that some brothers, especially black men, but some people just may need to lone wolf it. Sometimes it doesn't have to be a permanent state, but you may have to lone wolf it a little bit. I mean, my circle of friends is small. I don't really have a big, large circle of friends. I know a lot of people. That I went to high school, college, and I was in the Navy with, so that afforded me to know and have a few connections. Wow, it's pretty foggy this morning. To know and have a few connections here and there, so I know a few people, But the people that I consider my close circle of friends, my good friends, they're few and far between. That circle is real small. I have a lot of acquaintances, I have a lot of co-workers, but my personal friends, very small. And they know me, like my best friend told me the other day, because we went to high school together, we went to, junior high and high school together. And he said it, and he said that they were having a conversation about me. And he said, man, since we were kids, you were always known to, like, dance to the beat of your own drum, and it worked for me. Sometimes it didn't work for me, it's not perfect, but a lot of times it did work for me. And I noticed as I've gotten older, I don't lone wolf it all the time, sometimes I may have a girlfriend. I've never lived with a woman. I've had long-term relationships. I've had times where women stayed stitches at my house like 3 weeks or something, but I've never lived with a woman. And as far as me getting married, I got close to getting married a couple of times. But when I say lone wolf it, I mean in all aspects of life. And it's I would say it's maybe a form of meditation or like a transition from one period of your life to another. You may have to lone wolf it for a bit. There's nothing wrong with being alone and gathering your thoughts and doing an assessment of your life and, doing what's best for you. Because the way I look at it is I'm an individual. And I would say that being an individual, especially for a black man in this country, is probably a good thing. When I look at this Nipsey Hussle situation, and I don't want to comment on that. I don't really have too much to say. I mean, except for, this is the type of stuff that goes on in those neighborhoods. It just, this time, it happened to be Nipsey Hussle, a hero to that community that tried to do the right thing, that didn't turn his back on his community, and that's how they repaid him. They repaid him by gunning him down. And this is what I mean. And you can't link up with guys like that. You can't do anything with people that live in that neighborhood like that. Although there may be some good people in that neighborhood, I'm not denying that. There's always that element in situations like that. And that's not just in areas like that. I don't care what level of black society that you go in, there's always going to be people like him. And when they say, this guy was jealous, jealousy to me is not really that bad. But when it gets to the point of envious, that's when it gets horrible, and that's when we got a lot of horrible things happen because people envy you. So instead of, like, jealousy to me can create competitiveness, like, I wouldn't call it jealousy. I would just say, hey, look, you know what, I would like to know, how did that guy get there? Because I would like to be in the position that he's in. So I would go and ask that guy, or I would, study his moves. I would do that. So, looking at a person and saying, wow, I've had people say to me, like me and my closest friend, man, I'm jealous of that, I'm jealous of that. How can I do that? Something like that. And then there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, you looking at a guy in a position that he's in and saying, what can I do to get my position better and be like this guy? One of the ways you can do that is just walk up to that guy and ask him how he did it. Most of the time, guys in those positions will be glad to share certain information with you. But back to my point. In that environment, and I've said this, many times, the black community, as we know it, those inner city environments and things like that, it's game over. It's been over. It's been over for a long time now. And the Nipsey Hussle situation, to me, is just indicative of that. It doesn't really prove it, because that kind of stuff happens all the time. From what I understand, in that neighborhood right there, in that block radius, there's been 10 murders this year. And there's been a bunch of murders in LA this whole year. But like I said, he just happens to be a more notable one and a very noble individual. And I feel sorry for his family and his friends and his people closest around him. I really do, that he had to perish over something like that. But lone wolfing it is not a bad idea. Keeping your circle small, not a very bad idea, especially if you have things to protect. You don't want to let everybody up in your business. You don't want people to see how you're moving. You want to kind of move kind of stealth. Lone wolfing, sniper style may be the answer for you. It's not the answer for everybody, but it may be the answer for you. There's nothing wrong with looking around and saying, you know what, I'll just check out of this situation. I'll just check out of this situation, and I'm on my own. I'll be on my own. There ain't nothing wrong with it. It'll make you a better person. It'll make you get up off your ass and say, okay, I gotta create solutions for myself. You know what I'm saying? I have to do it for myself, and it'll make you more self-reliant. A lot of business owners, and which I, want to be one day. I'm working towards. I'm looking into that right now. Where if you study their lifestyles, they were more awkward people, especially the more successful ones. They didn't think like everybody else. They thought on a different wavelength. So, some great people like Nikola Tesla was a bachelor for his whole life, and he had many inventions and things and contributions to humanity that he had. I mean, he's just one of a long line of guys that may have been bachelors or lone wolves in their lives. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that that there's anything wrong with being in a group setting. Ain't nothing wrong with that either. If you can handle that, there's nothing wrong with that. Being around a group of people, and and y'all group up and y'all just going through life as a group. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you want to do that, that's fine too. I'm just talking from my experience, of because I pretty much classify myself as that. I roll along. I like it that way. I have female friends that I deal with. They know my situation. I pretty much let them know where we stand. This is what it is, and whenever you get to the point that you don't like it, I mean, you can always leave. There's no pressure here, there's no pressure here, but this is what I do. When you with me, we hang out, we have a good time. I know how to have a good time. Go out, cut a rug. That's an old phrase, by the way. Cut a rug. Go out, cut a rug, have some dinner, go to a movie, and share each other's company. Netflix and chill, cause that's today's dating. Today is Netflix and chill. It ain't going out to Applebee's and spending not Applebee's, but high expensive restaurants before you bed her. That day is dead. That day is gone. Today is we meet up, we like what we see, and it's gonna be some fucking going on pretty soon, and then we'll go out to expensive restaurants and all that shit. After we done fucked 2 or 3 times, then we'll start talking about expensive restaurants, dates, and movies, and go and watch Avengers and Endgame and all that stuff together, and coming into a relationship. We'll talk about all that after that. That's how dating is done today, because guys have peeped out that expensive game, stuff like that. But going through life in a dating game is probably a good tool to be lone wolf, because one thing about guys are competitive, especially in America, in this country. They're competitive. Guys will go behind your back, talk shit, about you. People that you think that's cool with you. If that chick is deemed attractive, a 6 or above, and sometimes, some cases, probably not even that attractive. Just maybe attractive to you, or you and him. Then a lot of guys that will go behind your back and say all kind of crazy shit about you. So lone wolfing it is good when it comes down to, if you want to, get with a female and talk to her, and you let that be between you and her. You know what I'm saying? And because I've had that happen to me in my life. I've had that happen. Guys that I thought that were my friend went back to a female that I was, talking to, having conversations with. The girl might have been digging me, and went back and said all kind of crazy shit about me. Some were lies. Most of the time it was just lying. Just to get in just to get it themselves. And then what normally ended up happening is neither one of us got it. In a lot of cases, I got it, and I still got it, and he didn't get it. Because in a lot of cases, what the woman would do would come back and tell you. So in dating, and if you're gonna be out there, lone wolf it, man. Don't be, especially younger guys. Lone wolf it. I'm older. I'm beyond those years of faking a funk with a nasty dunk. Lying. I used to lie to women. That was mostly in my 20s. I stopped doing that. I don't even do that. I can't remember the last time I've done that. And I used to, when I was learning the game. But as I've gotten older, I've learned certain things you may need to do to insulate yourself. Don't be letting even some of your closest friends know what you do. Just pop up one day and you already got the woman secured, and y'all already been out, and you probably already porked her or whatever. And then you introduce them to your friends or whatever. And if they come and say something bad, then you know that to cut that person off. But by the time you get my age, you know who your closest friends are and who not. I've shuffled off that, those days of me thinking I'm gonna get married and all that stuff. I mean, probably not gonna happen for me. It might. I don't know. I may in my later years find a woman that I want to get married to, be with for the rest of my life. I don't know. But am I gonna get married? Probably not. Probably not. I like my life the way it is. My life the way it is right now. I've been lone wolfing it now for a minute. You know, I have a lot of, you know, I've had a few women that's trying to get into my life. I have a few women that's cool with dealing with me the way that I am. They know who I am. But, and life ain't just about women. Life is about building, learning things. You know, I'm a homeowner, and I've learned more over these 13, 14 years of owning my home than I ever did as a kid or whatever like that. I've learned more about how to build, you know, fix stuff, you know, get on the roof, do this, do that, stuff that I'd never done years ago, you know. And I like doing that. I like learning. I like people watching. I like going out here and there. I don't really go out like that. I don't go out too much, you know. And I kind of keep myself pretty mysterious, you know. And that's the way I roll, baby. That's the way I roll. I just had those thoughts in my mind about lone wolfing it. You know, it ain't nothing wrong with doing it from time to time. Some people have to be in a relationship. Hey, that's fine. You want to be in a relationship, you do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You know. But yep, that's me, Charlotte Fantastic. I decided to put this video out today because that's what was on my mind. And I'll do another one. I don't know, maybe this evening. I was thinking about some more subjects and topics I wanted to talk about. And yep, I'll get with y'all later. Peace.